Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a bit of a deep dive, breaking down the language used in a promotional text for psychic services. Now, we're not here to evaluate the service itself, but to really understand how the words they choose actually work to build this promise of clarity and confidence.
I mean, who hasn't, right? We've all been there. You're at a crossroads, you feel stuck, and you just wish you had a little bit of guidance. It's a totally universal feeling. And that's exactly the feeling our source material here plugs right into, from the very first word. So the first thing this text does is acknowledge where you're at. It uses that word searching. And that's not just, passively browsing. It's an active hunt for something you really need. Guidance. And yeah, competence.
Okay, let's break this opening line down because it's really smart. It does two things super effectively. First, it drops in the location, which makes it feel targeted, personal. But more importantly, it defines success right up front. You want readings that are both accurate and meaningful. It sets the bar for what a good outcome looks like.
So now that they've set the goal, the text shifts gears. The next step is to position their psychic as the perfect person to get you there. This is where they start building that all-important credibility. What's happening here is pretty clever. The text is basically creating its own definition of a competent psychic. It's not just some vague idea. They're telling you it's a very specific package deal. Someone with professional experience who also delivers a high-quality service. Let's see how they split that up. And they do this by very neatly separating the person from the product. This is a classic move, really. You have to build trust in both the expert and the expertise they're offering you. And here's how they do it. See on the left? That's the provider's credentials. Experienced professionals. That's their resume, right? Their backstory. Then on the right, you've got the service itself. Accurate and meaningful readings. That's all about the value you, the customer, are going to get. Okay, so you trust the person, and you know what kind of quality to expect from the service. So where do we go from here? Well, now they tell us exactly which parts of our lives this can actually apply to. And just look at this list. We're not talking about small stuff, are we? Love, money, the future. I mean, these are the big ones. These are the high-stakes areas of life where feeling uncertain can be completely overwhelming. They're targeting the exact places where clarity feels most valuable. Now, this phrase right here is so important. This is how they describe the actual product. They don't just say advice or counsel. They say intuitive insights. And that word choice is so deliberate. It suggests a deeper, more specialized kind of understanding, something you can't just get from talking to a friend. And this is where the whole story really clicks into place. The message pivots. It stops being about what the psychic does, and it starts being about how you are ultimately going to feel. This is the real promise. What's the whole point of this? Well, the text is very direct about it. It's not just about getting some new information. It's about getting to a very specific emotional state. And here it is. It's like a 1-2 punch of emotional payoff. First, you get the immediate relief, peace of mind. That's about calming that anxiety you're feeling right now. But then you get the bigger, longer-term benefit. You'll feel more confident. This is key. It's not about being dependent, it's about feeling empowered to move forward on your own. This shows the path they've laid out so clearly. It's a simple, straight line. Step 1, you get the service, the intuitive insights. Step 2, that gives you immediate peace of mind. And step 3, that foundation of calm allows you to build real, lasting confidence. So when you pull it all together like this, the strategy is just crystal clear. Every single need a potential client might have is met with a direct solution from the text. You feel uncertain? They say to search for a competent psychic. You need to trust them? Bam, experienced professionals. You need guidance? Here's some intuitive insights. And what do you really want to feel? Peace of mind and confidence. It's a perfect matchup. So really, in just a few short lines, this text takes you on a complete journey. It starts with a problem we all recognize, that feeling of being a little bit lost. And it walks you all the way to an outcome we all desire, feeling confident and in control. And that wraps up our deconstruction. It really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This source makes a direct line from their insight to your confidence. So it's worth asking ourselves, in our own lives, when we're facing those big decisions, what gives us that same sense of clarity?